Welcome back to the channel. It is March 2nd, and it's going to be the breakdown for the very, very big slate tomorrow. We got on March 3rd. Ton of games. This is like a lot of teams finishing out, the first half of the season going into the All-Star break. That's why it's so jam-packed on a Wednesday. So we have some very good matchups right here. Utah against Philly. The return of James Harden to Houston. Chicago versus New Orleans should be fun. Any other ones? No, other than that, maybe Golden State, Portland should be competitive. And then you got Sacramento against LA. I don't know if LeBron James will even play in that game. We will see. But that means if he doesn't play, that means there's going to be some openings for some guys on that team. So we will see. You got to pay attention to the news um, all day long because stuff happens at, the last minute. Like today, you find out that Kawhi Leonard is not going to play right at tip off. Like, come on, man. People had already lineup set. You can't do nothing about it. It's already in. It's already locked. It literally happened at tip off, and people lose money. So that's not fair. That is totally not fair. But we're going to get into the value plays for tomorrow, starting at point guard position. We're going to go 7K and below. There's one particular team that has a lot of, not injuries, it's just players are sitting out for the rest of the first half of the season. So you have a nice long break going into that All-Star weekend that is coming up. Next, we'll have point guards, okay? Point guard, the first one I'm going to look at is going to be Lonzo Ball. LaMelo Ball's brother right here, and LaMelo already passed him. He's already 9,200 in salary. Lonzo Ball, on the other hand, is 68. So it's one of the higher price plays that you'll be looking at. But as of late, he has become a very high volume 3-point shooter. And against the Chicago Bulls, who do not play very good defense, I want to take full advantage of this situation. He took 5 threes against Utah, 12 threes against San Antonio, and 10 threes against Milwaukee. This is the type of volume that I'm looking for, and at this price, what he provides other than scoring, which is going to be a ton of assists and rebounds, maybe a couple steals and a block or two, is definitely worthwhile. So I like Lonzo Ball at 6,800. Next player we're going to look at, and it's going to be LA Laker. We don't know about the news about LeBron James, so I'm going to stick to the secondary guys. That's going to be Dennis Schroder at 5,900. Like I said, he came back from injury. He stayed at this price the last 4 games in a row. So the prices probably are going to go up. He's getting the bulk of the minutes. He's getting the bulk of the work, and he's taking full advantage of it. Obviously, he hasn't gone off yet, but this is a perfect opportunity to do so. Sacramento Kings are literally the worst defense in the league, and at 5,900, he should exceed expectations 100%. So we're going to play Dennis Schroder at 5,900. Next, this one is up to, you have to pay attention to this one because this depends on Tobias Harris, if he's going to play or not. And that's going to go straight to Shake Milton, point guard, shooting guard. If Tobias Harris is out, this gives a boost to his minutes and production. As you can see, the last game, 30 minutes against Indiana Pacers, 26 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. A very, very good performance with the absence of Tobias Harris. They were able to blow out the Indiana Pacers. Now they're going up against a top-tier opponent, the Utah Jazz. And even if Tobias Harris is going to play, I like Shake Milton to provide that boost off the bench because Utah Jazz are very, very formidable offense. They like to shoot so many threes. They're going to need a ton of scoring to keep up pace with the Utah Jazz. So 5K is still a solid price for someone that's going to get solid minutes on the 76ers. Shake Milton. Now I might run out of space with all these guys that I have on this list today, but we'll probably delete some guys and then go back to it. Next, I'm gonna go through all the other guys, and then I'm gonna focus on that one particular team that has a lot of guys that are gonna be sitting out. Next is gonna be Terrence Ross at 6,300, shooting guard and small forward eligibility. He's getting a little bit better, finding his stroke a little bit. He's been struggling against Utah, didn't play too well. Brooklyn didn't play too well, but those are prime spots. Now, after those two good games, now he's going against Dallas, 32 DK, solid performance, a little bit better shooting. I expect another level above that against Atlanta, who's another high-paced team, doesn't really play solid defense. Orlando's going to need this type of scoring from their second unit, Terrence Ross, because they have a ton of guys out. Evan Fournier is solid. Vucevic is good. They're missing a point guard. They're missing Aaron Gordon. Terrence Ross is a big boost. That's why he's at this price right now. And he does go for some crazy games. You've seen it against Detroit, 40 DK, 13 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. You've seen it against Dallas. So I want that kind of type of performance at this 6,300 price. I think that's too cheap for him, all right, for what he provides. So Terrence Ross at shooting guard and small forward. Next, we're going to go to Sterling Brown from the Houston Rockets. Brooklyn's going to be, well, not Brooklyn, but James Harden is going to be well motivated to go against his former team, and that's going to put Houston Rockets in a ugly position. Also, they are going to have a couple people that are going to be out. Let's see if we can find it right here live. If we go to Houston, you see all these guys are going to be out. No Christian Wood. Eric Gordon is a questionable. He might not play. I think Jayshawn Tate. We'll see about him. No David Nwaba. That's another guy who's a forward to play and help play defense. Daniel House Jr. is another questionable. So there's a ton of guys out. You gotta pay attention to the news, RotoWorld/NBA. But there should be minutes for Sterling Brown. Obviously, he got the opportunity. The game previously against Cleveland, 31 minutes. Didn't shoot well, but he is a three-point shooter. And if he's knocking down the shots at this 4K price, it's an absolute steal. So you're getting 30 minutes at 4K. You have to play it, okay? Which should be a high-scoring affair. No way Houston probably keeps this close, but someone has to score the basket. Next, we are looking at Darius Bazley from the Oklahoma City Thunder. And this is a power forward center going up against the Dallas Mavericks, who should have Porzingis down low, which is a thumbs up for him. But OKC Thunder, they have SGA. They have Al Horford. Darius Bazley is going to be that third guy on the offense. He provides solid rebounding, good scoring, can hit the three. He was 3 for 8 against Denver. The game previously, they raised him up $100, but he is not too expensive. He belongs at that 6K price. So we're going to take advantage of this. I like it. I like his matchup. I like the game script. Dallas plays down to their opponents. So this could be a very, very close, tight game. He can be getting some late fantasy points for you guys' lineups. So Darius Bazley at 5,500. And then the team that I want to focus on is going to be these Toronto Raptors, okay? Obviously, you see all these outs. Not all these guys are out. So you're going to be expecting no Van Vliet. You're going to be expecting no Siakam and no OG Anunoby. All right. So that leaves openings for Kyle Lowry. That's above the 7K threshold that I give you picks on, but obviously he's a great play. Norman Powell is going to be in a good spot at shooting guard, small forward at 6,700. Chris Boucher at 6,400 is going to be a great center play. I'm not really looking at Aaron Baines. He doesn't get that many minutes, but if you're looking for another cheaper guy below 4K, I think DeAndre Bembry is going to get some solid minutes, but he might even start. If he doesn't, he's going to get solid minutes off that bench. You saw against Houston, 23 minutes, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 22 fantasy points at a very, very cheap price. Get it? I think the Toronto Raptors might have 2 games before the All-Star break starts, so take full advantage of this. I think you can get him at this very cheap price for these last 2 games. take full advantage of it. DeAndre Bembry. Now, if we're looking at these prices on FanDuel, Dennis Schroder is at a solid price. I believe he's cheaper, $400 cheaper. Another play on FanDuel I'm looking at in this game that I think is going to be very back and forth between the Utah and the Philadelphia 76ers is going to be Mike Conley at 6,200. You're getting him cheaper on FanDuel, which is very, very rare. I think there's a ton of upside for him in that offense. They're going to have to put up a ton of points against Philadelphia. And then another guy that I'm looking at who's cheaper on FanDuel than Draftkings is going to be Buddy Hield. He had a coming out party the previous game, and I think he'll have a nice three-point shooting night going up against the LA Lakers. Obviously, I spoke about Darius Bazley before. He's a little bit cheaper. Yes, he's $100 cheaper on FanDuel. And there's one more guy at center that I want to point out before we go, and that is going to be Miles Turner at 6,500 going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This man can be a fantasy star, especially on FanDuel, because all the upside he provides in blocks. And you can see it right here. 4 blocks against the New York Knicks, 4 blocks against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 6 blocks against the Chicago Bulls. These are the type of performances he can put up after his price has went down. Now he's at 6,500. I think he's at the right price right now for you guys to take full advantage right before the All-Star break. He has something to prove. I like Miles Turner. If you want to pay down just a little bit at the center position, because I understand it's very, very important that you get someone that is solidified at that one spot. All right. Let me know how you guys feel about the core that I have currently. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share this. We're almost at 300 subscribers. Let's keep pushing it. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessNetJSD. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Peace out.